So I was going through my notes and thinking, you know, is there a session or a particular message or something that I want to bring back? And to tell you guys the truth, I don't know why I do this. I don't know why I'm involved in Apogaea and Burning Man. I'm obviously getting something out of it. This is my 4th Apogaea. I spent 19 days on Playa doing temple crew. I'm on the board. Like, clearly there's something there for me, but I'm not really clear yet what it is, and I think maybe that's okay. But as a result, what I'm gonna do is just highlight a few things from my notes that really resonated with me, and they're gonna be, I think, a little bit more concrete. Maybe minor issues, or minor points, but things that meant a lot to me at the conference. So the very first person who got up and talked was Ben Davis, and he is the one who did the Baylights. Maybe it wasn't very first. I think he might have been first though. And he got up there and he said, "I don't really identify as a burner." And I was like, "That's fucking awesome," because I don't really identify as a burner either. I don't know. Like, maybe it's because I don't know why I'm doing this, or I don't know what's in it for me, or maybe I just don't like to be labeled. But for some reason, you know, it's not the first thing I tell people about myself, and I don't know why, but I don't think that makes me any less of a burner, which also touches on what Steve said. And as a very specific point to that, I would like to challenge all of you at Apogaea this year to find someone who's not in a costume and be real nice to them, because we don't have to wear costumes to be burners, right?
Right.
Anyway.
No fair finding me, because the fact that I'm not in a costume is also a costume.
Your beard.
But
Do I get the rest of the drink?
He's naked, not in a costume.
Right?
My first year at Apogaea, I was very well accepted with no costumes. I even got an awesome ticket for not wearing a costume.
I'm so glad to hear that. Did I get the trash? Yes. And I love costumes. Nothing wrong with costumes. I'm just saying we can be what we are. So Ben Davis gave this really interesting talk where he talked about advertising and commodification and the fact that we're bombarded constantly on all sides by the message that we need more. We need to buy more. We need to get more things. We need to be more. We have to get all this stuff so that we can give it away. We have to go to Costco and spend $1,000 so that we can go to Burning Man and camp. Like, more and more and more. And he came up with this concept of less. And he went through a whole evolution of his symbol, but basically, it started as this whole thing, and then it was tapered down and tapered down and tapered down, and it became this. Less than. And what this is supposed to stand for is buy less stuff, do more for others, and no money changes hands. And he encouraged us to take this symbol right here and graffiti it all over stuff. And the idea is when you put this symbol on something, it's no longer for sale. It's not a commodity to be bought and sold. And he really encouraged us right off the bat to think about what we can give that doesn't have monetary value. And I really, really appreciated that as setting the groundwork for the whole entire...
We should all get that tattooed on us.
We should all get this tattoo. We should all do this together, don't we?
That way we can pay less.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really great. And the cool thing about the GLC, one of the really cool things, like, it was great to go to the Burning Man mothership and hear all the cool things that were happening, but what was really cool was to talk to all the other regions and all the other people from, you know, regional reps and other board members and community members from other organizations, and see that there is so much going on. We're doing cool things, they're doing cool things. You guys, like, all of you should go to the GLC just to get exposed to the breadth of things that are happening, because it's phenomenal. It's really amazing. So Matt Schultz, who I think Steve mentioned, he started this thing called The Generator. It's a 34,000 square foot warehouse space in Reno. It's free. It's a no-fee space. A gift-based warehouse space is what he calls it. So he's an example of someone who came up through Burning Man and did an incredible thing. And he told this story about his first art piece. So he made this art and he brought it out to Playa, and he went through this whole thing and he showed it to people, and he had it in his camp or whatever, and he said like 2 people really appreciated it. And for the most part, it was not done well. It was not right. It wasn't what he wanted to be. It was just his first attempt, right? And And then he came back the next year and he built the pier. And then he came back and he built the pier 2. And then he started the generator. And his quote was, we need to help people fail at building art. Very, very important. And I would really like to see us keep that in mind, that it's okay to fail. It's okay to let people try. It's okay to give them money even to try, and it's okay to let them fail, and then they can do more next time. And failure's not the end. It's just the beginning.
Coda pointed out that's where we learn.
Yeah,
It truly is.
exactly. So really, really inspirational people. Someone that I've identified as Hooper, and I don't remember who it was, said, knowing your passion changes your world, sharing your passion changes the world. And this is an interesting thing for me because there was a lot of talk of changing the world at Burning Man, and I'm conflicted about this, right? Because we have poverty and we have hunger, and we have big problems in the world. But I think we can at least say that we're doing something here, and we're changing a lot of people. And as we learned at the retreat, and as Kimo mentioned, we don't even know the far-reaching consequences of our work and what we're doing. So the best way for us to do it is to find our own passion, follow it, and then share it with others. I thought that was also really powerful.
Is he the guy who did his entire presentation while hooping?
No, but maybe. He was amazing.
I got a video of that. I was like,
Yeah, this guy, he had slideshows and everything and hooped through his whole presentation. That was phenomenal.
I'll try that at a business meeting one day.
Oh, no, we should do this, for sure.
It's gonna be 60 slide deck. No,
What could possibly go wrong?
otherwise you wouldn't be able to talk and hoop at the same time.
Yes.
We had our product,
Nor defecate.
we had our product manager give a talk one time while making old fashions and margaritas for people, like at the table, while telling us like what our product strategy for the year was.
Oh, that's even better.
I know how to do product management training.
So then, I'm going to get a little bit more practical here. This kind of dovetails off what Coda said about passing things on and triple XOs. There was a lot of talk about documenting protocols, and I know we don't necessarily want to hear this, but as we grow bigger, I think it's really important that we write down what we're doing. We pass it on verbally, we also write it down. It's important to have job descriptions, it's important to have timelines, it's important to have codes of conduct, things like that. And it may not seem like the most fun way to spend your time, to sit down for an afternoon and write down what you do, but it's going to prevent the next person from reinventing the wheel, and it's going to allow us to grow. And we don't want to be stuck in the same rut, inventing the same thing over and over again. We really want to grow this into something bigger. And, as a person who it turns out is interested in communications, although I have this science degree, I don't know. Communicating things is important, and communicating what we do, and writing down our protocols, that kind of thing. So that's my little practical thing that I want to pass along. Another little practical tip here for leaders, and this came out of a session on, gosh, I don't remember. I mean, you can see I took pages and pages of notes. There's lots of good stuff. An important point was that when you're thinking about your job with Apo and what you do, we all put a lot of time into this, right? We don't have a lot of time to spare, but it's really important that we budget time for management and communication, and really talking with people and working with people and discussing things. It's really easy for us to be like, no, you do your thing, I'll do my thing, this is our time, this is all we have. But the quote was, just because you delegate something, it doesn't disappear. It's really important to take the time to interact with each other like we're doing now, and and I think we do a fairly good job of it, but it's a good reminder. Again, something that I took out of one of the sessions. And I went to a conflict resolution session because interpersonal interactions are something that has been really interesting to me in the Burning Man community. I think as a scientist, I communicated with people like me all the time. We just understood each other. We were all the same. But it's not quite like that in Burning Man, and I've had a lot to learn about conflict resolution and interpersonal relationships and interactions, and I am continually learning, and I have a long way to go. But the session was led by a ranger, and I'm not going to go through very much of it because a lot of it was kind of basic ranger stuff. And I was told that I should go to ranger training. I'm told everybody should go to ranger training. Apparently it's wonderful. But one of the points she made was that if you were frustrated enough that you're bringing an issue home and you're talking about it and you're still thinking about it the next day and you're talking about it in your personal life, you have to address it. You have to talk to the person and resolve it and not let it linger on. And that's really, really challenging. It's something I'm working on. But I think it's a good practice in general. So I'm, working out conflicts, dealing with these things as they come up, and then what happens is you have an issue, you have a conflict, you talk to the person, you resolve it, and you still have all this baggage, right? Like, it was still really emotional, it was still really difficult, and remember, we're building this amazing thing together. We don't want to be drugged down by emotional baggage, particularly 3 weeks before the event, 4 weeks before the event, when we're all struggling a little bit. And so there's this technique, it's called spring cleaning, that they taught in this conflict resolution session. And what it is, it's a way to get rid of your own leftover crap, what you have left over, your emotional stuff surrounding an issue. And it's something you can do either alone or with someone else. You can get a facilitator, someone who can hold space for you. And the recommendation was to spend no more than 15 minutes on this thing. And again, it's something you do after you've resolved the issue with someone else and you're only dealing with your own stuff. And I found this really powerful, so powerful that I want to do a demonstration right here in front of you guys on video, even though I've never done this off video. But I asked Caroline to help me do this because I think it's going to be really, really, hopefully, a valuable tool. So we're going to do spring cleaning on, what did I say? Trust.
I'm going to stand up.
Let's stand up. Oh, and I was going to say, so the idea is to do this for no more than 15 minutes. I think for these purposes we'll do it for like 1 minute.
Yay!
That seems pretty
We're
good.
gonna burn
Totally
through that
out of your
trust
way.
issue quickly.
Yeah.
That's how we do it as burners.
Yeah.
Okay. 15 minutes to do it in one.
Is what I call it.
Isn't there an app for that?
Okay, you ready?
So, what's up for you around trust?
I feel that trust is something that I give to people, and then I maybe give it freely, and then it's broken, and then it's really, really, really difficult to give it again.
Thanks. What's up for you around trust?
I feel like one of the hardest things is to trust myself. It's difficult when I see all my flaws, and I need to be able to trust myself to follow through.
Thanks. What's up for you around trust?
I think that to have a really great event, to really, not just an event, to grow Apo into this great thing, oh, 1 minute was too short, to grow it into this thing that we want it to be, we all have to trust each other, and that's really hard.
Thank you. What's up for you around trust, Jen?
I have this tendency that if one person breaks my trust, I just want to shut down. I don't want to trust anyone. And it's very scary to offer trust again, even to the people who did not betray me.
Thanks. What's up for you around trust?
I just had it and I lost it.
Trust yourself.
I think that that trust interacts a lot with responsibility, and it's difficult to balance the concept of taking care of your responsibilities and being human and failing sometimes with trustworthiness. And you have to trust someone and yet let them be human.
Okay, one more. What's up for you around trust?
it's something I want to have. I want to be able to trust people, but it's very scary.
Got it. Thank you. One more?
Maybe one more. I don't know if I
What's
have
up for
anything
you
else.
around trust?
I guess I'm doing it every day, and it's hard, and I see that lots of other people are doing it, and that it's hard for them too, and I appreciate the vulnerability of everybody in this organization and trusting each other. I was gonna try to do this without crying.
What's up for you around trust?
Oh shit.
I'm afraid that I'll make a mistake, and it's scary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so honored to hold space for you. Thank you so much. Can I give you a hug?
Yes, thank you so much. Anyway,
Thank you, Joe.
you're welcome. So yeah, when I saw that done at the GLC, I thought it was really powerful. I thought I should try it. I didn't get around to it, so I thought now's a good time.